Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com. And I'm over here. Hi there. There you go. I'm over here in the box of boxes, looking at some stuff here. And it looks like some single things fell into the box of boxes. But when we get over here, these are the things that were on top. And I just sort of, here we are. I just sort of hauled them out here. And let's see what we got here. I'm sorry about the light shining in the window there. It does a little bit. I'm trying to find a good angle. You know, this is going to be my office. So as I clear boxes, I sort of like move around and see how we're going to light this and what we're going to do. Of course, I can do things from elsewhere too. So what do we got? Oh, let's see. Oh, these are interesting. Okay, here we have the Colin Davis LSO Berlioz Odyssey. It was an odyssey. And yes, it wasn't an ordeal, it wasn't a journey, it wasn't a contraption, it was an odyssey. And the Odyssey is all of the recordings he made with the LSO. Some of them are marvelous, some of them are not. It's a big surprise there, isn't it? First, Symphonie Fantastique. No. You know, for some reason, Davis never really got the Symphonie Fantastique, even though he recorded it like 5 times. And we've talked about this over and over and over again. The most famous one is the one with the Concertgebouw, which is gorgeously played, rather dryly recorded, and all of them are just a little bit on the dull side. I mean, Davis was never a hot and heavy Berliozian like Charles Munch was, for example, to go like crazy, but he was very, very good and a very passionate guy. I mean, a really, you know, impulsive and emotional conductor. So Berlioz was very well suited to Berlioz, but I don't know what the deal was with the Fantastique. Anyway, this is not one of the good ones. Then we've got Harold in Italy. Excellent. Absolutely excellent. And Romeo and Juliet, which was excellent. And The Damnation of Faust, which is also pretty good. And Beatrice and Benedict, which is, you know, it's delightful and light and fluffy, and no one particularly cares about it. And then we have Les Troyens, which was fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. I mean, it's as good as his Phillips recording. It really is. It depends on how you feel about the cast. And they're both excellent. And, you know, although one has like John Vickers and, you know, people like that. So, you know, but it's great. It's absolutely great. Then we have the SACDs, discs 11 through 16, the Overture, Les Francs Juges, and the Requiem. I think his first one was better. I really do. The one on Phillips. And the Te Deum, well, that's quite good. It's very, very good. Although I think the best Te Deum is still John Nelson's that was on Virgin. It's now on Warner. That's a marvelous performance. And then we have Benvenuto Cellini. This is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Probably the best Benvenuto Cellini out there. You know, the problem with Benvenuto Cellini is what edition do you do? You know, because Berlioz left it a mess. There's the, you know, version with dialogue, or the version without dialogue, and then this and that, and which one, the one that listed in Weimar. But it's a wonderful performance. And L'Enfance du Christ, which is also quite good. So there you have the Berlioz Odyssey, if you could still get it. I mean, frankly, it has many, many more wonderful things than it has terrible things. That's for sure. And so I think, you know, I mean, I'm relying on memory here now, because I haven't heard these performances in a while. But my recollection of them individually, and most of them are reviewed over at ClassicsToday.com, so you can take a look. And if I got something wrong, I may have. But I do remember very clearly about the Symphonie Fantastique. You know, I should check the reviews myself. I'm such a fool that way. I'm just curious. You know, I say to you folks, if you want to get recording recommendations, well then, go to ClassicsToday.com. As well you should. So let's just take a peek here. Berlioz. I'm going there while I'm talking to you. And let's get Colin Davis. There he is. Colin. And you just run a search, which is very easy. Up there they are. Now, let's see how we rated these things. LSO, L'Enfance du Christ, did fabulously. Of course it did. Let's see. Harold in Italy was also fabulous. And let's see what else is here. Beatrice and Benedict, well, that got an 8 out of 10. Les Troyens was a 9.9. See, I'm helping you. The Damnation of Faust was an 8.6. Yeah, it was a bad recording. It was sonically, it was just not happening, unfortunately. And what else have we got? The Symphonie Fantastique. Nope, that was a dud. That was a 6. Oh, well. Okay, so we did those at least. And that was a pretty general overview of some of the stuff that's in there. But a lot of it's superb and some of it is not. And that's the way it goes, as you might expect at a big box of Berlioz. So let's see. I said keep on listening. Oh, yeah, well, I want you to keep on listening, but that was just the first thing on the list, wasn't it? Number 2, Elliott Carter string quartets with the Juilliard Quartet. 5 of them. What is there to say? If you're an insider, I wrote a very funny review of these. I do suggest you go read it. I'm not going to give away the punchline, but I think you should have a look. Anyway, the Carter string quartets are, they were, I don't know if they still are. This is an interesting question, isn't it? They were the iconic modernist string quartets after Bartók, as if Bartók had become easy listening. They are tough, tough, tough works. And we've had a big, long discussion already that I do not want to repeat here, from some people who swear by them and think they're wonderful and others who do not. And all I could say is never in my life, and I have a pretty broad experience of classical music and the people who listen to it, have I encountered somebody listening to the Elliott Carter string quartets for their own pleasure in their own home. I know people do. Maybe they only do it secretly, like in the bathroom or something. I don't know. But I don't know of anybody who just plonks them on and says, oh, listen to this. Isn't it wonderful? I'm not saying that it's good or it's bad or what that means, but it's tough music. It's very, very tough music. And they are a specialist taste. And they are splendidly performed, of course, by the Juilliard Quartet, wonderfully so. Some people argue about whether, the whatever quartet does it better than this quartet or that quartet. I think anybody who can play these things at all has got my total respect and sympathy. And, I have the scores. I've been through them. I admire them. I do. I think that they're remarkable pieces for what they achieve musically. In terms of modern notation and technique and conceptions of form. And having acknowledged that expressively, they just leave me basically completely cold. Sometimes I enjoy listening to them. I mean, there are a lot of things that are expressively cold. Stravinsky, for example, just about anything. So, yeah, when you're up for something like thorny and challenging and difficult, then this is your cup of tea. And I've kept this, and I have several recordings of these quartets. So, yeah. Next, last but not least, this is a fun box. This is the Sony Riccardo Muti Conducts Italian Masters. And this is really wonderful. A wonderful disc. 7 discs of nifty Italian music by composers no one pays attention to. And they really should. You've got, Casella's Paganiniana, Martucci's Notturno, Noveletta, and Giga, and the Busoni Turandot Suite. What's not to love? That's disc 1. Disc 2 has Martucci, La Canzone dei Ricordi with Mirella Freni, and the second piano concerto with Carlo Bruno. Now, Martucci was sort of like called the Italian Brahms. He was one of those sort of like conservative Germanic composers who happened to be Italian. His music is quite attractive. It really is. Some people find it a little dullish and a little heavy-handed. I mean, I do sometimes. But it's well made and lovely to listen to once in a while. Then we have Puccini, Catalani, and Ponchielli music per orchestra. Yeah, when you know what that stuff is, the Puccini intermezzos, that early stuff, and Catalani's, something from La Wally or so, and Ponchielli's, La Gioconda. Lots of fun. Verdi, Overtures and Preludes, 2 volumes. Fantastic stuff, with lots of overtures and preludes. And Nino Rota, 2 discs of Nino Rota, yay. Music for the film, The Godfather, 8.5, La Dolce Vita, Prova d'Orchestra, the rehearsal, the orchestral rehearsal, Rocco I Suoi Fratelli and his brothers, and Il Gatto Pardo, The Letter. And then CD7, La Strada, the concerto for strings, which is lovely. And the ballet music from Il Gatto Pardo, because it was a ballet and it was a movie. So is La Strada. Rota did it both ways. He had enlarged the film music into full ballet length and stuff. Anyway, it's just beautiful. It's wonderful. It's terrific. And it's a great disc. This is a great set. 7 fabulous discs from Muti's later Sony period. So there you go. Keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.